Hello, this is Danielle with Teaching with Finesse, and I'm here to show you how to get started with Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a great resource that you can use for a lot of things. I've used it for math, reading, science. I've used it for a reading log for homework where the kids can read to me. There's a plethora of things that you could do. If you hashtag Flipgrid Fever on Twitter, you'll see a whole bunch of things and just creative ideas that other teachers have used. But today I'm going to show you how to get started. And so when you log in, this is what the screen you'll see, and this is where your grids are. Your grids are basically your classes. So think of your grids as your classes. So in order to create a new one, I do add new grid, and then I would put a name. So here's just practice, so I've named a practice group. There are 3 different options. It's really about your preference. You can have your students log in through Microsoft or Google. You can have students use an ID that you've created, or you can make it public where they don't need anything to log in. I use this one. It's just my preference and what I like. So I would do student ID. Scroll down, hit next, and then you add in your students' names. So let's say I've got Monique Gumdrops is in my class. I would create an ID. So my student ID is my school name and the student number. So let's say I went to Rainbow Elementary School. So it'd be Rainbow, and let's say Monique was number 6. So it'd be Rainbow 6, and then you would hit add. You can also, use this template, but I always just add it manually. Again, your preference. And so when the student logs into Flipgrid, they would type in their first name and their last name and then their student ID. So I always do that because it makes it easy for me to know what their ID is, because it's the school name and then the student number. For me, I have my Flipgrids outside my classroom, so they use a QR code, scan it, and they'll be able to see. So this is what mine looks like. So this is outside my classroom. Instead of putting things outside, I kind of keep this up all year. And so people would scan this, and in order for another person to see the grids, you will need a code. And so for me, I do this so that they would just type in rainbow, and then they are able to get in. And it'll show up under my name. So if you do want to display it and you want other people to see it, and you do choose the student ID version, I just create an ID for myself. So I did my name, and then I just did the school name. So mine is the only one where it's just the school name. So when other people want to see the work that is on your grids, they just type in rainbow, and then that's what shows. And so let's hit next. So you've got your students, and you can print your list if you want to, and then you can go to launch my grid, and then it's all set. So here is my grid. You can also change your theme if you like to by just going up here and hitting edit. So your topics. So you have your grid, which is what I consider as like your class, and your topics are the things that you are going to create and have your students respond to. So let's go to one of my old grids, or my current grid. And these are the topics that I have my kids respond to. So you can do, for here, they did their personal narrative. So they wrote and then they read their personal narratives, to show what you know. A lot of these I just created just because of the things that are coming up and the ideas that I've had, and then like their water cycle claymation. This one was cool because you can also upload things that are on your Google Drive into your grids. But yeah, so your topics are the things that you want your kids to do a Flipgrid on. So let me go back to the practice group. And so in order to do that, you add new topic. And so you create your title, let's say getting to know me. You can change your time. So I always do the max of 5 minutes. Most kids don't do that. much, but some kids might need that extra time, so I always max it out with 5 minutes. And then I do a description here, so I would say, tell me some cool things about yourself. Oops. And so after that, you can record a video of yourself. You can add things from Google. You can upload a video. You can do all of these things. You can add an image, whatever you like. I don't necessarily do this all the time. I kind of leave mine blank. And then you can see your more options. Any topic tips, any attachments. You have a moderate, so you can say it says will be hidden from students until you activate them, so you can do it that way. I honestly don't do any of these things. If you find that your students don't use the stickers properly, you can actually take those stickers off. But yeah, these are just the other things that you can use. So once you've created that, you can hit create topic. And then here is what you would do. So there's multiple options. You can put it in Google Classroom. You can copy the grid. You would copy this part, and then you copy this part for your students to type in. I always do a QR code, so I hit the QR code, download it, and then my kids will scan it, and it will take them directly to the topic, and then they would just have to type in their student ID, and then they'll be able to record. So once you've done that, it's all set. So here's my getting to know me grid. As kids respond, you'll see them pop up here when they respond. And so if you want to, you can do record a response. On an iPad, I believe, you'll see this big green circle with the plus sign. They'll click that, add their video, go through the steps. It pretty much talks them through the steps. And then that's it. So once you've created a topic, your students can go ahead and start their responses. And that is how you get started with Flipgrid.